GDPR can be tough enough, but there are 7 common traps when you're a group of companies, even a small group. We'll run through these 7 GDPR traps for groups and how to avoid them with 3 easy solutions. And stick with us for 6 awesome benefits from good privacy to show that it's worth it. Hi, I'm Robert Bohr, the founder and CEO of Keepable, the award-winning privacy management software saving you time, money and stress on privacy, giving you a great answer for the board and customers alike. Do check us out at keepable.com. This video is part of Privacy Kitchen, free video help with GDPR and all things privacy. If you're new here, please do click subscribe to hear about awesome new Privacy Kitchen videos. As always, links are in the notes below. And as always, we'll just say GDPR in this video because the EU and UK GDPRs are the same here. Right, grab a cup of coffee and let's crack on. Now, when you're a group of companies or any other group structure, there are 7 GDPR traps we see in the market again and again. The good news is they're all easily solvable, so let's look at the first GDPR trap now, no uniformity. Now, whether your group was formed organically or by acquisition, because GDPR is still relatively recent, you're likely to have separate approaches to GDPR compliance, if at all, across each group member. No uniformity has 4 key aspects. First 2, uniformity in approach and in understanding. Who leads privacy? Who drives it? How embedded is privacy in the culture and practices? How much is it understood across the group? 3 and 4, uniformity in management and reporting. What's being looked at? What questions are being asked? What's being reported on a regular basis to the exec team or the board? What insights and transparency do you have or do you need to support ongoing compliance and meet your accountability obligations? Together, this lack of uniformity hurts your ongoing compliance. It's hard to ensure and to prove good operations, insights and culture when everyone's going their own way. Okay, trap 2, taking a group view. Taking uniformity to the extreme, we see this surprisingly often. It's wrong to only adopt a group-wide view. For example, with 1 data inventory, 1 Article 30 records, 1 breach record for the whole group, as if it was 1 controller or processor. GDPR places express obligations on each and every controller and processor. Looking at GDPR just from the group level, and again this happens surprisingly often, is not compliant with GDPR. Each group member needs its own framework and records, which can be uniform across the group, but they have to be particular to the entity. Common example in a group is for 1 member to do all HR and payroll for other group members. Each group member will still be a controller of their own payroll. They can't avoid that responsibility. That other 1 member will also be a processor for the other group members. Okay, trap 3, that entity doesn't process personal data. A very common thing we hear is that an entity in the group does not process personal data. It's maybe because it's a special purpose vehicle or SPV set up for tax reasons, or it's simply a company in the group that supports other companies internal to the group, isn't seen as customer facing. Unless a legal entity is really dormant, it will have directors or partners who have meetings. They'll process some form of payroll or financial transactions, even if just for the group. For example, 1 entity, as we've mentioned, could do HR payroll. We've even seen a group company that takes promotion decisions across the group and salary raise decisions, described as not being relevant for GDPR, which is just incorrect. Now, they may or may not need to register with the UK ICO, that's a separate question, but if they're processing personal data subject to GDPR, they're subject to GDPR for that data. One way to look at it is, if that entity or their systems were to suffer a breach, would it be problematic for you? Would you care? And you probably would. Okay, trap 4 for groups, disparate IT. Right now we see that most organizations are at the point where they're looking to ditch the spreadsheet because it's now clear it's not the way to manage this complex and comprehensive compliance area. We also see that your group members are most likely at different stages of tech adoption and indeed technology estates, with some experimenting with homegrown or adapted solutions and some having nothing at all in this area. Differing technology, often siloed, makes it very difficult to collaborate and to manage and improve ongoing compliance. How can you compare and gain transparent insights to drive improvements across your group? How can you work efficiently with your advisors? How can you confidently ensure least privilege access, that colleagues have access according to their role, only what they need on each organization and no more? Trap number 5 for groups, membership changes. If the points we've gone through so far ring true for your group, it's likely going to be difficult to onboard a new group member or members. Onboard them to what exactly? How do you bring them up to speed with the group's approach and compliance levels? And it clearly raises issues when a member or members leave the group. That might be through a sale, and you'll need to support that value creation with great GDPR answers for each of the relevant entities. Okay, trap number 6 for groups, security and breach risk. So an obvious result from this lack of uniformity in approach to privacy compliance, of which security is a foundational part, from disparate IT systems, lack of transparency and insights, lack of collaboration, even ignoring certain entities in the group, is an increase in your security and breach risk. If you've not got a planned approach looking at each entity in your group, where does the data go, how is it secured, who has access, all the other GDPR requirements, that's a clear and present danger to your data, your reputation and your bottom line. Trap 7 for groups: wasted resources, increased stress and lost opportunity. Now, as you can imagine, if our first 6 traps sound a lot like your group, there's probably going to be a significant level of waste, both in terms of precious time that could be spent on more value-added activities and equally precious cash that could be used to gain rewards elsewhere. There's also going to be increased stress, both for those trying to manage privacy in this environment and those reporting to the board and those with buck stops here responsibility. There's a huge opportunity cost too, for example, in terms of speed to revenue and investment. So let's turn now to 3 key solutions to address these 7 traps. Solution 1, uniform approach. Solution 1 is having a planned, uniform approach across your group members. You can sleep easy knowing each company is implementing the same measures to safeguard data, comply with privacy obligations. They may need to tailor certain aspects, but you're going to be able to look at reports and compare apples with apples. You'll be able to get ahead of problems and ensure transparent reporting across the group. You'll also be implementing a privacy culture based on common language and themes, making it easier to talk about privacy and security with any colleague and to let them know what's expected of them in their role to support the success of their entity. Solution 2 is to cover all entities. Solution 2 is treating each group member separately and as part of the group as well. In other words, leave no group member behind. Do this and you massively reduce the risk of being sent into crisis mode if an incident happens at one of your smaller entities. It means each entity has a ready answer on GDPR and privacy. There's a sensible record of how all these group members interact with each other and the outside world, not just some of your group, and the resulting responsibilities across them. Have a group-wide view by all means, but make sure you consider each entity separately. Solution 3, automation. Now, the third solution is to automate the process, and to do so with SaaS. Now, I probably would say that you should use software as a service, but you can run sales and finance off a spreadsheet, but HubSpot and Xero make it so much easier. SaaS is excellent at taking repetitive tasks and heavy lifting off your hands, so you can focus on the more value-added aspects. It's also cloud-based, so everyone's on the same up-to-date system, no version control problems. It's got audit logs, etc., so you can manage your teams. It will have least privilege access built in, 2FA, single sign-on, and you'll be able to collaborate and liaise with your external advisors and other colleagues efficiently, giving them the rights they need to do their job. Instant insights as well will mean you can confidently report to the board and the exec team nice and quickly, whether that's downloading or given instant access. And when team members leave, you're not losing expertise. Enacting these 3 solutions will significantly address those 7 GDPR traps in your group. Okay, here's our bonus section on the clear benefits of good privacy. Cisco's 2021 data privacy benchmark study, link in the notes below, highly recommended as ever, found that over 2/3 of respondents enjoyed significant benefits in these key areas from privacy maturity: reduced sales delays, mitigating security losses, enabling innovation, achieving operation efficiency, building trust and making the company more attractive. Which organization doesn't want that? So there you are, you know about the 7 GDPR traps for groups, the 3 key solutions and the major benefits from good privacy maturity, all very achievable. So please do look at our other Privacy Kitchen videos, including the 7 principles of GDPR, and please do use hashtag Privacy Kitchen to tell us the topics and questions you want us to cover. And do visit us at keepable.com, get your demo to see how we make operationalizing privacy simple and intuitive, from data mapping to breaches and more with instant insights. So stay well in the meantime, see you soon in Privacy Kitchen. Did this video make the topic easy for you? Well, that's what Keepable software is all about, making GDPR compliance a breeze, instantly creating the insights you need to prove your compliance to the board and customers alike. Why not see for yourself by booking your demo at keepable.com? And while you're there, we've a whole host of content on our blog, including real-life customer stories, insightful posts, and useful downloads. Hit the link in the video description or visit us at keepable.com. Looking forward to speaking with you soon.